So hello guys, today we are going to build this movie website. This is the full responsive website. So this is a website today we are going to build. So if you want to build this responsive React website, then this video is for you. Okay, so let's start our coding journey. So in order to start our projects, let's go here and write out. Okay, so let's write a cd. Okay, so our website started. So let's go in our project and let's go in our app. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this useless code. So let's delete this logo. Let's save this, and I'm going to also delete this app CSS. Okay, so let's delete this app CSS. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one container. Okay, so let's write a container, container, or let's create one component. And after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create our page. Okay, so in our page, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create our home dot js, and let's, oh sorry for that, and let's write a home dot css. Okay, so home dot css, let's write rfc. Okay, so in our component, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a three component. Okay, so our first component was sidebar. So our second component was main container, and our third component was right bar, and our r should be capital. Let's write a JS and right.css or right bar.css. Okay, so we created, let's instead of sidebar, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a left sidebar. Okay, so let's write a left to left. Let's write a left bar. So in our left bar, let's create a left.css, left bar.css, I mean JS, and then CSS. Okay, so let's go in our main container, and here I'm going to create our main file. So let's write a, sorry for that, we need a file. So let's write a main container.js and main container.css. Okay, so let's go and write our refc, import our css. So for our main container, right file. So let's go now home. Okay, so I got an error here. So what I'm gonna do is let's go now app.js. Okay, so here let's import our first. Let's import our home. I mean home, and let's go now home page. And here, what I'm gonna do is let's import our left bar first, and let's import our main container, and let's import our right bar. Let's save this, and here I'm going to give it a class name. And let's import our okay. So let's go in our first. Let's go in our right bar, left bar, not a right bar. And here I'm going to give it a class name. So let's give it a class name. So our class name will be left bar main container. Let's save this. Let's give it a flex will be 1, and let's go in our main container. Let's give it a class name. So our class name will be main container. Let's copy this. We'll start with that. Let's give it a flex. So our flex will be 3, and let's go in our right bar. Okay, so let's give it a class name. So our class name will be right bar main container. Let's give it a flex will be 0.5, or yeah, so let's see. Okay, so 0.2 maybe, yeah. So that would be enough for our right bar. Now let's go in our right bar first. So in our right bar, I'm going to remove this, and instead of this, let's go and give it a background color. So our background color will be black. Okay, so first what I'm going to do is let's give it a height. This is temporarily a height. We just write it for just minutes. Okay, so later we are going to delete this. Okay, so maybe one flex 1 would be more for this. So let's write a 0.6 or 7. Yeah, so let's go here and here. What I'm gonna do is first let's write a h2, and here what I'm gonna do is I'm going to write madan. Let's save this. So let's give it a class name. So class name will be a logo name. Let's write a color. Color will be white. And let's write a margin left, which is 10 rem, or maybe a 4. Let's write a 2 rem. Okay, so let's write a front weight, which is 400. Or maybe let's write a 1 ref. Yeah, so maybe 1 ref would be enough. So here what I'm going to do is let's write span. Yes, pan span. Let's remove the start and let's give it a class name, a dot. Okay, so let's copy this and let's write a color. Oh, sorry for that. Color will be red. Oh, sorry for that. We don't need this red. And our, you know, front width will be 800. Front width will be maybe 400. Okay. So now what else we need to do? Now let's create one div again. Inside this div, I'm going to write a p tag and let's write a menu. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is let's write a UL first, and inside this UL I'm going to write a ULI, and let's write our image, which is our icon, and after that let's write a p tag and our browse. Let's copy this, and after that let's write watch list. Let's go down CSS, and I'm going to give it a style. So our first color will be, you know, white. Yeah, and I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this div and let's paste it. Okay, so now let's save this. Okay, so instead of browse, what I'm going to do is let's instead of this menu, I'm going to change this and let's write a social, and let's write a general. Okay, so now let's save this, and here let's write a FRI friends parties. Let's remove this list, and in our general I'm going to write setting this setting profile, or we don't need this profile, so let's write a logout. Let's remove this again. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to give it a class name for our ULI, or let's copy this ULI and let's write list style will be none. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and I'm going to check our style is working or not. Okay, so yeah, so we just remove this black dot from here. Okay, so which means uh our list style removed successfully. Okay, so let's remove this. Yeah, so now let's go in our menu and let's give it a class name. Let's give it a class name. So our class name will be menu, and let's go here and again give it a class name. So I'm going to write a menu again, and let's copy this, and I'm going to paste it here too. So let's save this, and let's copy this menu. So let's write our color. So color will be white, and let's give it a little bit margin left. So margin left will be 2 pixel or 2 rem. Let's give it a 1 rem. Yeah, so that's would be enough. Okay, so now let's go in our UI, and here what I'm going to do is let's give it a display will be flex. Okay, and here I'm going to write my image. So let's import our image. Okay, so first let's import. So I'm going to forward this. I'm going to import all these images and add line by line. Okay, so now I'm going to forward this because I'm going to import all of this image. So go in the description, download this image and icon. Okay, from the description I'm going to import all of these icon for our this list. Okay, so we successfully import all of these icons. So now let's use this icon here. Okay, so we got all of these icon. Now let's restyle this. So in order to style this, we need to give it a class name. So let's give a class name. So our class name will be list icons. Okay, so let's copy this class name, and I'm going to paste it in our all icon. Let's save this, and now let's go in our CSS. Now let's give it a style. Let's give it width will be maybe 10 pixel. I don't know, I just try to give it in a random way. So let's give it a 10 or 20. So now what we need to do is let's write a line item which is center, and let's give it a margin left which is not a right, but we need to write a left which is 10 pixel. Okay, so let's write a minus 10 pixel. Yeah, and let's give it a margin left which is 10 pixel. So for this menu color, I'm going to change menu color. Okay, so let's go to console and choose another color. Yeah, so I'm going to copy this color, and let's find this menu class name. So instead of this color, I'm going to paste our new color. And for our browser color, maybe I can change this browser color too. So let's go here, and yeah, so I'm going to copy this color, and let's remove this white color. And okay, so now let's refresh this. Yeah, so everything is work absolutely fine. So it's look pretty cool, guys. And this after this or what? Yeah, so after this div I'm going to create another div. Okay, so let's write another div, and inside this div what I'm going to do is first I'm going to add my image. Second, I'm going to write my p tag, and also I'm going to yeah, so let's write a p tag, and I'm going to write another p tag, and let's write all. button. So here I'm going to import my image. Let's copy this. Okay, so I got a problem because of this, and again I got a problem. This image is too big, so let's resize this image. So let's give it a class name. So our class name will be, let's write a image, last image, last image. Let's save this, and now let's go in our CSS, and now let's give it a style. So first I'm going to add a width will be 3 rem, and let's write height will be 2.5 rem. Let's save this. Okay, so let's write a object fit will be cover, and now what we need to do is let's write a border radius, which is a 50 pixel, I mean 50%, not a pixel. And let's go back. Okay, so after that what we need to do is let's write us 5 to 6 hour, and now let's give it a class name. So our class name will be popcorn, and let's give it a class name. So our class name will be wi is viewing time, and our class name will be btncha challenge. Now let's copy this. First I'm going to copy this color, and let's give it a color, and let's go back. I'm going to copy this color, let's write a color will be white. Okay, and after that let's write a font size, which is 11 pixels right now. And so for that let's go back, let's copy this, let's give it a color will be, let's copy this color, and I'm going to paste this color here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is let's go in our UI, and let's give it a margin top or margin bottom. So let's write a margin top, which is minus 10 pixel. Yeah, so let's give it a class name, and let's give it a last left bar, left left bar, last div. Let's copy this, so let's write margin left, which is 10 pixel, and let's copy this last image, let's give it a margin left, which is a 10 pixel, or maybe 20, or let's write 30. Yeah, so I'm going to copy this, paste it here, paste it here, and paste it here. Okay, so maybe 20 pixel for this popcorn, or let's write a 10. Yeah, so I'm going to do the same thing for this. Not this, but uh what is the, yeah, view time. So let's write this. Okay, let's give it a margin top 10 pixel, or maybe 4. Yeah, so now I'm going to copy this, paste it here, and our btn, what I'm going to do is let's decrease this the margin left. Instead of this, I'm going to write 10, and let's write our color, which is black. Let's give it a padding, which is 6 pixel, and let's write a border radius 10 pixel again. Let's write a border will be none, and maybe our text align. So do I need to change this text alignment or not? So let's check it out. I think everything is in the right place, but let's go in our image and let's resize this image. So where is our image? So maybe our width will be 2.5 rem, and our viewing time, let's write margin left, which is 13 or 15. Yeah, and let's write a position, which is relative, and btn, let's write a position, which is relative. Okay, so let's copy this left bar last div. Let's go in our left bar last div. Where is this left bar last div? Here, yeah. So let's give it a background color. So let's go inspect, and choose our background color. Yeah, so I'm going to copy this, and instead of this color, I'm going to paste this color. Okay, so now let's write a margin right, which is 40 pixel, or maybe 50 pixel, and let's give it a 10 maybe. Let's give it 30, and this would be 40. Yeah, so now let's write a border radius, which is 10 pixel or 15 pixel. Yeah, so now let's go in our image here. What I'm going to do is let's write a margin left, which is 50 or 60 pixel. Let's give it a 70. Yeah, so I'm going to change this text or icon too. So let's go in our margin left here. Instead of 10, I'm going to write 30 or maybe 40 or 44, 46. Yeah, so 46 would be enough. So I'm going to do the same thing for here. Let's write 45 or 49. Let's give it a 51. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so 59, I mean 51 would be enough. So let's go now button. So here I'm going to write a margin left, which is a 40 or 50. Let's give it a 55. Okay, yeah, so and let's give it a padding, which is 2 pixel, or maybe this, border 50 pixel is not suitable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this image border radius, which is, let's give it a 4, 10 pixel. Let's give it a margin top, which is 10 pixel, which is minus 20 pixel. Yeah, okay, so maybe everything is done here. So now what I'm going to do is, maybe I need to change this color, because I think this color is not suitable for this, page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this and paste this code. Okay, so let's save this, and it's look pretty cool rather than our previous color. So let's write a margin bottom. Let's write a 10 pixel or 20 pixel. Yeah, so 20 pixel would be enough. So I think this is more suitable. Okay, so our navbar, okay, so our sidebar was finished. So now we are going to build our navbar. Okay, so let's go to our home. Let's go to our main container. Let's go in our main container, and in our component, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this navbar. Inside this navbar, let's write a navbar.js, and now we need to write a navbar.css. So let's write refc. Let's import our navbar. Let's import navbar.css. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, let's go in our main container. So in this main container, what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to import my navbar. Okay, so let's go in our navbar. Let's give it a class name. So our class name will be main navbar. Let's save this, and I'm going to copy this. Let's go in our css, and let's give it a style. So our background color, first we need to give a background color. So our background color will be black, and let's give it a little bit height. So let's give it 20 vh. I don't know, so 20 vh is too much, so 20, I think 10 vh is good for now. Okay, so now let's go back. Let's remove this navbar. Now I'm going to create one div, and inside this div I'm going to write my img, and let's write our input, which is a search. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another div here, and inside this div I'm going to create one div again, and inside this div what I'm going to do is, let's write an image. Let's write an image again, and now I'm going to write a p tag. So this is our profile name, so our profile name will be small and Katie. Yeah, so now let's import some of the image. So here I'm going to give it a class name for this image. So let's write a class name. So our class name will be notification icon, and let's give it a class name for this. And here what I'm going to do is, let's write a profile image. Let's save this, and I'm going to copy this. Let's go back, and here let's give it a width. Width will be 40 pixel. I don't know, just I just you know write this for so I'm going to copy this again. Let's go back and give it a style, and I'm going to copy this CSS, and I'm going to paste it here. Let's save this. So now what we need to do is let's go here and let's give it a style. So our display will be flex, and I'll just justify content will be space between. Okay, now here I'm going to do the same thing. So let's write a display will be flex, and our align items will be center, and let's do the same thing for here. And let's here I'm going to write my display will be flex. Okay, so now let's import our image. Okay, so I'm going to forward this. So first I'm going to import my image, then I will show you. Okay, so I'm going to forward this video. Okay, so I import this image. Okay, so now let's go here, notification image. I'm going to copy this, and instead of notification, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a profile image. Let's save this, and here where is our image? Yeah, so here again I'm going to paste this, and let's write a search icon. Let's save this. Okay, so I got an error which is in a search png. Let's go and find. Yeah, so we have this search png, but our okay, so instead of image I need to write a icon. So let's give it a class name for this icon. So our class name will be search icon. Let's copy this, and I'm going to style this. So let's give it a width. Width will be maybe a 20 pixel, and our height will be 20 pixel, and our object fit will be cover. And I'm going to copy this and paste it into our notification icon or profile image. Okay, so now let's go back, and yeah, so I got this notification bell, and I got this profile. And okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change. Let's give it a class name first, and our class name will be profile name. Let's copy this. Let's go back, and here let's give it a color. So our color will be white for now. I don't know why this color doesn't work. Oh yeah, so we don't need this double quote. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is let's go back in our notification, and we need to decrease this notification icon. So instead of 4040, I'm going to write 2020, and so maybe 25 or something. Yeah, so 25 would be enough. So now let's write margin left, which is 10 pixel maybe. Let's see. Okay, so nothing happened. So let's decrease this. I don't know why this didn't work out. Let's write a margin right. Yeah, so not left, but we need to write a margin right. So let's write 20. Okay, so now let's go in our notification. So in our notification, let's give it a margin right, which is 10 pixel. And here let's write a border radius for this profile image. So our border radius will be 50%. Yeah, so now what we need to do is, mm, let's see what the mistake we did here. Okay, so let's go in our p tag or profile name, and here let's write margin left 10 pixel. Yeah, so maybe 10 pixel is not suitable for this, so let's write a 5. Yeah, so 5 pixel would be enough. Or in our notification, let's go in our notification, and instead of 10 I'm going to write 13 or 19. Or height or width will be, let's write 20. Yeah, now it's more suitable. So now let's go in our navbar again. So we need to style this search bar. Okay, so let's go to class name, and our class name will be search bar. Let's copy this, and let's see. Okay, so we need to display flex, and let's write a line item, which is center. Okay, so let's write a margin left, which is 10 pixel or maybe 20. Okay, so let's give it a background color, which is let's write a black, and let's write a border, which is solid 1 pixel, and let's write a white. Okay, so let's copy this search bar, and let's go back, and let's give it a width. So width will be, I don't know how much width do I need to give this. Okay, so 30, maybe 30 is not suitable. So let's give it a 25 maybe, and let's give it a padding will be 10 pixel. Or okay, so let's write a 6 pixel. Yeah, so I'm going to write a border radius, which is 10 pixel again, and let's give it a background color again. So background color will be black. Let's write a border, which is on none. Or maybe, instead of black, I'm going to write this kind of color. Maybe this kind of color is more suitable. So let's copy this. Let's copy this, and instead of this black color, I'm going to copy paste this, and maybe that's darkest color will be more suitable. Okay, so now let's uh let's write a margin top, which is 10 pixel. or maybe 20 pixel. Yeah, so and let's write a border radius which is 10 pixel. Okay, so let's give it a little bit padding. Okay, so our padding will be 10 pixel maybe. Okay, so 10 pixel is not a good, it's not a good idea, so let's give it a 5. And let's go in our CSS, and here I'm going to write a color. So our color will be white. Okay, so if I type something, the color will become white. Let's go back. Let's go back. And maybe margin top, which is 16. Yeah, so 16 would be enough. So for this div, let's go back. So in this div, what I'm going to do is let's give it a margin. Let's give it a margin top. Okay, so margin top, which is 5 pixel for this div. Now let's go in our right bar. So in our right bar, let's go in our CSS, and here what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a background color which is black. Oh, sorry for that, I just clicked in the wrong place. Yeah, so now let's go in our main container and try to style this main container. Okay, after this nav, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one div, but you know, so let's go in our front end, and maybe I think this border should be more, and the color, you know, maybe the white color is not suitable for this border. Okay, so for this search, let's go in our front end, let's go in our navbar, and where is our, yeah, so here instead of 1 I'm going to increase this and make it 2. Yeah, so now let's select our color. Okay, so first let's click this and let's find a color. Okay, so I'm going to copy this color, and instead of this white color I'm going to copy paste this color code. Now let's refresh this. Yeah, so now we need to write our placeholder. Okay, so let's go in our input, and here I'm going to write our placeholder and search. So let's go back. So here what I'm going to do is first I'm going to create one, I'm going to write an image, and let's write one p tag, and I'm going to write another p tag. Let's create one div, and inside this div let's write one button, and inside after this button what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a one div, and again p tag, and let's write a plus. Okay, and I got this button and this plus icon. So now let's go back and import my image, and this is our image. Okay, so let's save this and let's copy this image name. Sorry for this. So let's write a cover image, and now let's give it a, you know, class name, and our class name will be cover image. Let's copy this and let's go back in our CSS, and here first let's give it a background color which is black, and here I'm going to write a width which is maybe 60 pc, or let's give it a height which is again 60 pc, and let's write an object fit which is cover. Let's save this and let's see. Okay, so I got this image. Now I need to decrease this image size, which is GSW. Yeah, yes, it is suitable now. So maybe not a 60, but I'm going to write a 67. Yeah, yeah. What I'm going to do is let's write a margin left, which is 20 pixel, or maybe 40 pixel, and let's increase width again. Now let's write a border radius, which is 10 pixel. Okay, so 10 pixel is not enough, so let's give it a 30 pixel. Yeah, so now I can clearly see this curve. Here I'm going to write a text, and our text will be the conjuring. Let's write the conjuring movie. Yeah, so let's first let's give it a class name. So our class name will be title, title, main. Okay, so title would be enough. So here I'm going to give it a class name. So our class name will be subtitle. Let's copy this. First, I'm going to copy this subtitle, and let's go in our CSS. Let's write a subtitle, and let's write a title. And in our title, let's give it a color. Color will be white, and let's give it a front weight. So which is 600. And now let's give it a font size. So our font size will be 16 pixel maybe. And yeah, okay, so maybe let's make it a 19 or 20, and let's give it a font width which is 800, and maybe 22. Okay, so later we will going to change this font family. Okay, so right now let's tolerate this. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to first I'm going to create one div here. Let's create one div, and inside this div I'm going to cover these item, and let's format this code. Now let's give it a style, or let's give it a class name. So our class name will be item container, items container. Let's copy this. Okay, so now let's go in this title. So let's go in our title, and here what I'm going to do is let's write a margin top which is 10 pixel, or minus 40. Let's write a minus 100, and our position will be relative, and for this cover image let's write a position, and let's write a position which is relative. Now what we need to do is in our title. Maybe we need to give it a 140 or 190. Let's write a 170. So 170 would be enough. So let's write a margin left. Let's go in our item container and let's write a margin left, which is 10 pixel, 20 or 50. Or maybe 70. Yeah. So now let's go back, and here in our button, what I'm going to do is let's write our watch now. So here let's give it a class name. So our class name will be what? BTN watch. Let's copy this, and here I'm going to write a position which is relative, and for for this for this div I'm going to write a class name, and oh, sorry for that, sorry for that. So let's write a class name and we'll watch later. Let's copy this, uh, and let's give it a class name for this. So our class name will be us plus. Let's copy this, let's go back, and here let's write our position which is relative, and our color will be white. Let's write our font size which is 26 pixel. Let's give it a style. So our display will be flex. Let's write a align items will be center. Let's write a 89% match. And what I'm going to do is let's go in our subtitle. So in our subtitle, let's give it a color first. So our color will be white, and our position will be, yeah, so let's give it a margin top 10 pixel or maybe 20 pixel. Yeah, so let's go in our watch later button. Let's copy this BTN watch. So yeah, so I will write a BTN watch. So here let's give it a padding, or let's write a padding left right now. Padding right, which is 20 pixel. Padding top 20, and padding button. Okay, so padding button which is 10 pixel, and our border radius which is 10 pixel, and our border will be none. Okay, so now let's go in our plus. Where is our plus button? Not at this plus button. So first let's copy this watch later, and I'm going to paste this watch later here. Let's write a position which is absolute, I mean relative. Okay, so now let's give it a background color which is a red. Okay, so let's give it a margin left which is 10 pixel, and I'm going to write a padding left 20 pixel, padding right 20 pixel, padding button which is 10 pixel or maybe 5 pixel. Let's write a border radius which is 10 pixel, or maybe I'm going to change this. Instead of red, let's test many colors. Okay, so this is not suitable. Yeah, so maybe that color would be suitable for this. So let's write a cursor pointer. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this white color, and instead of this I will just add another color. I don't know which color should I need to add, but let's check it out. So our first, let's go in our BTN watch. Okay, so BTN watch, let's write a background color. Let's write this kind of color. Okay, I think this is not suitable. Maybe let's write a color which is white. Oh, sorry for that. I just let's change this color code. Maybe this color is suitable for this application or not. So let's change this color again. Maybe this color is suitable for this. So let's write a cursor pointer. Cursor will be pointer. Okay, and let's go in our title. So let's write a font family. Ubuntu, and let's go in our title and let's write a font, or not that, let's write a font family which is Ubuntu. Maybe this is not suitable for this. Yeah, so this font family is more suitable for this. Okay, so let's copy this and I'm going to paste it in our subtitle. Yeah, so let's go in our btn, and here let's write our font family. Sorry for that. Let's remove this, and now it's more suitable. Okay, so let's go back, and here what I'm going to do is let's write our margin top which is 10 pixel. Yeah, so 20 pixel would be enough for this. So let's go in our subtitle again, and maybe margin top minus 20 is not suitable for this. So let's write let's 16 or 15, or let's write a 10. And let's go back, and instead of 20 I'm going to write a 24 or 27. Yeah, so the gap between these two are equals, so now it's more suitable. Okay. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is let's go back in our main container and here, and let's write a position which is relative. Let's save this and let's go back. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is let's write a wb get track will be width will be 0 pixel. And now what I'm going to do is let's go back, uh, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and paste it here, and let's paste this here. And now let's see. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is let's go back, and here let's write a overflow will be hidden, overflow hidden, and let's write a overflow y will be scroll. Okay, so now let's go back, and here let's write a webkit scroll thumb, width will be 1 pixel. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is let's write a thumb, and let's write a width which is 1 pixel. Let's save this. Not thumb, sorry for that. Yeah, so now everything is done. So we don't need this. Let's save this. Okay, so you can also write a 0 pixel, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now let's go back, and from here I'm going to delete this div. Let's remove this. Let's save this. And now what we need to do is, uh, if you guys want to decrease this image, you can decrease this image. Right now I'm not going to decrease this image. Okay, so now let's go in our css, I mean code editor, and here I'm going to create another div. And here what I'm going to do is, let's write one div again. So here I'm going to write my yes4 tag. Continue watching. Let's save this, and let's write a class name, and our class name will be sub main title. Let's copy this and let's go back. So now what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to write our color. So color will be white. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, and here what I'm going to do is let's write our movie name, which is Haunting House. Okay, so let's save this, and here I'm going to import my image. So let's import my image. I'm going to copy this and paste it here, and instead of this image, let's find our image, and instead of cover image I'm going to write a item image. Let's copy this, and here I'm going to use this image. So let's give it a class name. So our class name will be item image. Let's copy this and let's go back. Now let's give it a width. Width will be 40 pixel. Okay, so not a 40 pixel, maybe 100 pixel and 130 pixel. Let's give it a height. So height will be 130, not 30, but let's write a 50 pixel. And so let's increase this width. Okay, so now let's write a object fit will be cover. I mean, yeah, so you can also write container. So let's go back and I'm going to copy this sub main title. Yeah, so we already write this sub main title. So now what I'm going to do is let's write a margin left, which is 10 pixel or 30, 40. So maybe I'm going to increase my width. So let's write 130. Border radius, which is 10 pixel, or let's write a 30 pixel. Let's write a position, which is relative, and let's give it a class name, item name. Copy this item name and let's write a color which is white. Let's give it a margin left, which is 30 pixel or 50 pixel. Now let's give it a margin top, 0 pixel. Okay, so let's go back and here I'm going to give it a class name, so item container. Let's copy this, let's go back and let's give it a style. So let's give it a background color. Right now I'm going to write a random background color, so this is just for testing. So let's give it a width, so width will be per pixel, and again I'm going to create one div here. And let's give it a style, so our display will be flex. I'm going to copy this and paste it here, and let's go back. Let's remove this. So what I just did is I just removed this width. Let's write a margin, margin 10 pixel. Let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a cover, not a container. So let's write cover. Okay, so now let's go back and here what I'm going to do is instead of border radius, border top left radius, and let's copy this, and instead of left I'm going to write a right radius, which is a 30 pixel. Now let's go here and here I'm going to write a border radius again. Let's write again, let's write, I'm going to copy this and let's paste this here. Yes, let's change this color. let's copy this and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, now let's format this code. Let's format this code. Let's write a margin left, which is 10 pixel. Let's write a width. So our width will be 30 pixel. Not 30, so let's write 300, not 300, 200. Yeah, so 200 pixel would be enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize this image, and instead of uh 200, yeah, yeah. So let's go back, and I'm going to copy this again. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, and let's write a margin left, which is 60. Okay, sub main title. So let's go now sub main title, and here let's write a margin top 10 pixel. Oh, sorry for that. Let's write a margin bottom 10 pixel, and also I'm going to write a padding. Let's write a 10 pixel. Okay, so now let's go back, and let's write a margin left 50, or let's write a margin bottom, which is 20, and let's write a padding top 10, or maybe 20, and let's write a front size 19 pixel, or maybe 23 pixel. Now let's go back, and what I'm going to do is, and let's write a flex wrap, which is a wrap, and let's, if I try to, okay, so it just work absolutely fine. Yeah, so now I'm going to change this image. Okay, so let's go and change this image. Let's copy this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so item image 1, item image 2, item image 3, item image 4. Okay, So maybe I need to, decrease this image size. So let's go back. Let's go in our main container and let's go in our cover image. So let's find cover image. So height will be 50, or maybe let's decrease more. Okay, so instead of 50, I'm going to try to 50, I mean 44, 45. Okay, so in our title, maybe instead of 170, let's write 160. Yeah, so let's change this text. Okay, so I'm going to skip this and I will just change this all these text. Okay, so now let's go back in our code editor and let's go in our right bar. And in our right bar, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one div, and inside this div I'm going to create another div, and let's write our image, and let's write our another div. Let's give it a class name. So class name will be dot, and let's import our image. Let's write a image one from, let's copy this. Let's go now CSS. Let's give it a width. So our width will be 30 pixel. Let's write 30 pixel, and our height will be 30 pixel again. I mean pixel. Let's see. Yeah, so I got this image. Now let's write a border radius. Let's write a border radius which is 10, I mean 50%. Okay, and also I'm going to change this background color. Okay, so now let's go back, and here let's write our margin left, which is 10, not 10, let's write a 20 pixel. And then let's go here and give it a style. So margin top will be 140 pixel, or let's try 160 pixel. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is let's go back in our CSS, and instead of flex 0.1, 0.2, I'm going to try 0.1. Okay, so let's go back, and instead of 20, I'm going to write 10. Let's write a 2. Yeah, so maybe 4. Yeah, so 4 would be enough. So let's go back, and let's write a 5 or 6, and I'm going to increase this width, so let's write 33, and height will be 33, and our object fit will be cover. Okay, so now let's copy this dot, and let's give it a width will be 10 pixel, height will be 10 pixel, background color will be green, let's write a border radius which is a 50%, margin top 10 pixel minus 10 pixel maybe, and let's write a position relative, or maybe 12 pixel. Yeah, so maybe this dot is too big, so I'm going to increase my width and make it 8, and let's make it a 8. Yeah, so now let's copy, and also I need to add a padding top, which is 20 pixel. Let's copy this. I'm going to paste it here. Let's save this. Okay, so now let's change our image. This is image 2, image 3, image 4, image 5, and image 6. Oh, image 5 or image 6 or image 7 or image 7. Let's save this. Okay, so these two images are same, so I'm going to change this one image. Let's remove this, and yeah, so everything is done. So I'm going to increase this padding top, whatever you want to call. So 30. Yeah, I need to change this second, third, fourth image because these images looks ugly, so that's the reasons I need to remove this image. So let's go now image, let's go now profile image, and I'm going to write a border solid 2 pixel red. Now it's look pretty cool, so I'm going to do the same thing for these our friend's profile too. Okay, and let's go in our right bar, and let's go in our profile image. Let's print profile image, and here I'm going to write a border will be solid 2 pixel red. Okay, so now it's look pretty cool. Now let's change our Iron Man image and Haunting House image and this low image, because these four images, this because of this four images, our website is like a car race. Okay, so let's try to change this image. So this profile image is a little bit bigger, so I'm going to resize this. Okay, so let's go in our navbar. So we are in our navbar, and let's go in our profile image. This is a profile name, profile image. Yeah, instead of 40, so let's try to make 30 and 30. And now it's become more suitable. After this image, this movie name or all of this thing isn't suitable for our website. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to change this. Okay, so instead of this name, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this button. Okay, I'm going to copy this and paste it here. Let's save this, and let's write a btn item container. Okay, btn item container. Now let's copy this, and I'm going to give it a style. So let's write a padding left, which is 64 pixel, and let's write a padding right, again 64 pixel. Okay, so let's write a padding top, which is 10 pixel maybe, and let's write a padding bottom, which is 20 or 10 pixel. Yeah, so let's write a border radius, which is a 10 pixel again, and I'm going to copy this background color, and here let's write our background color, which is this color code. And again, let's write our color, which is a white color. Or instead of white, I'm going to copy this same color code here. So let's go back and let's copy this color code. Okay, and let's paste this color code here. Okay, so this color code isn't suitable for that, so maybe white color. So let's go here. Now I'm going to copy this, and instead of this movie name, I need to replace this movie name with new button. Okay, so let's write it. Button, 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 movie, and let's set this here. And now it's look pretty cool, man. So okay, so now how can we make this website more beautiful? So let's think about that. Maybe I also need to add a border for this image too, just like this. Okay, so let's try it out. Let's go in our item image. So let's go in our item image, and here let's write our border. Border will be solid 1 or 2 pixel, and maybe white color. Okay, so let's see. Maybe this isn't suitable. So let's decrease this pixel. Okay, so first I'm going to decrease this pixel. Let's write 1, and instead of white, let's write a blackish kind of color, like. Yeah, so now let's look good. So now let's think what we can improve here. Can we improve something? What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. Let's go back, and you can copy this entire div. Copy this entire div, and let's write I can write a recommend movies. Okay, so I'm going to forward this and change this image. Okay, so these are our image, so I just change this image. So maybe this text is I need to shift this text into a right side. So let's go, and let's go now sub main title. Okay, so let's go now sub main title. Okay, so in our sub main title, let's decrease this margin left. I mean, yeah, increase this margin left 80, maybe, yeah. Okay, so instead of watch now, what I'm going to do is for this recommend movie, I'm going to write a buy now text. Okay, so let's go back, and here I'm going to write a, so let's write a buy now. Let's save this. Oh, sorry for that. And I'm going to copy this. Instead of watch now, I'm going to turn it and make it a buy, and also do this thing. Okay, so yeah, so you can also write a cursor will be pointer. You can write a cursor pointer. So let's go first, let's see the btn item container. Okay, so let's go in our btn item container, and here let's write a cursor will be pointer. Yeah, so everything is good now. Okay, so that's it. So now what we need to do is I'm going to make this website responsive. Okay, so right now we have this kind of look. Okay, so now I'm going to make this website responsive. Okay, so for that, let's go back. First, let's go back in our navbar. So in our navbar, here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a class name for all of these styles. So let's give a class name. So our class name will be search item container, search items. Let's write a search items, and here what I'm going to do is let's write class name, and our class name will be item container. Let's save this, and first I'm going to copy this. Sorry for that, I'm first copy this, and let's go in our navbar. Let's copy this style. If you like this video, you can subscribe to this channel. So let's copy this item container, I mean search items, and let's go back and copy all these styles from here, and I'm going to copy this and paste it here. Sorry for that, we also copied this. Let's remove this. And let's give it a class name. So our class name will be a profile container. Now let's go back. Okay, so let's go back. Yeah, so everything is good. Okay, so I have a problem. Okay, so I have problem. Let's go back. Let's go in our navbar, and here. Okay, so I have problem because of this item container, and our this item container both are same. So what I'm going to do is, instead of this item container, what I'm going to do is let's write a nav item container. Okay, so let's write a nav item container, and let's save this, and let's go back in our CSS, and our problem was solved. Okay, so now let's make our website responsive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a we need to write a max width, and here we need to give a max width from this 900 pixel. What we need to do is let's save this, and let's try to increase this width. Let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is from the 952, when we reach the 952 pixel, then first we need to remove this search input, Okay, so for that, let's check our, okay, so search bar. Let's go in our search bar here. I'm going to copy this, and let's remove this, and let's write our display will be none. Yeah, then let's go and, so let's go in our search item. So where is our search item? Here. So here what I'm going to do is, let's remove this, or let's remove this, not removing, but I'm going to turn it back black, and also I'm going to turn this background color into a black. Yeah, and I'm going to remove this. Let's remove these. Yeah, so let's go back, and let's go in our nav item container. So let's find our nav item container here, and I'm going to write a justify content will be flex int. Yeah, so now let's go in our search item, or this image. So let's find this image. Where is image? So our image is search icon. So let's write a search icon. We don't need this. Now let's write a margin top. Let's see, margin top will be minus 10 pixel. I don't know. Yeah, so 10 pixel would be enough. Let's give it a margin right, which is 10 pixel maybe, or let's write a 7 pixel or 6 pixel. Yeah, so 6 pixel would be enough. Yeah, so when we reach this 764 pixel, then we need to change something. So let's go in our sidebar. So let's go in our side or left bar, and let's go in our CSS, and let's use our media query, media screen, and max width pixel 764 pixel. Then first let's go in our left bar, and let's copy this name, which is ULI list name. So let's write ULI list name, and let's write a display will be none, or yeah, so it's did not work, so let's decrease this more. Okay, so now let's go back. Yeah, so we just didn't give it a, a space. Because of this we got this problem. Okay, so now let's go in our ULI list name, and let's write a ULI. So let's go back in our ULI. Let's copy this, and here let's remove this, and our margin top will be 30, or maybe 30 is not a good idea, so let's write a 10 or 12. So let's remove this, and now I also need to remove this container. So let's go back and let's copy this left bar last div. Yeah. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is let's copy this, and instead of flex 0.7, I'm going to write 0.2. Yeah, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to decrease this, logo size. Okay, so let's write a dot logo name, and our logo name font size will be 13 pixel. And here let's write a overflow will be hidden. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is let's go in our ELI, and here what I'm going to do is let's write a margin left. So for that, margin left, which is 10 pixel, I don't know, minus 10 pixel, yeah, or minus 10 pixel, or let's write a margin 12 pixel. Okay, so now let's write our menu dot menu. So our menu will be, let's decrease our font size, so our font size will be 11 pixel. Yeah, so I'm going to write a margin left, which is minus 10 pixel. Oh, sorry for that. Let's decrease this and let's make it a 0, or maybe margin left to 1 pixel. Yeah, yeah, so I think overflow hidden is not a good idea, so let's remove this. So now what else? We have a problem. So let's see. Okay, so let's copy this margin left, and here let's write a margin left 0 rem, or let's write 0.4 ref. For pixel, and I'm going to write a 4 pixel here too, so let's write a 4 pixel. Yeah, so now let's go in our main container. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. Let's go in our main container, and let's go in our main container.css. Let's remove these all. So here what we need to do is let's copy this cover image title, and I'm going to paste it here, and our cover image width will be 50 pixel, I mean 50 pc, and our height will be 450, and our title will be 17. Okay, so we also need to decrease this. Now let's decrease this font size more. Yeah, so when we have, Okay, so what I'm gonna do is when we reach 912, when we reach 912 pixel, then we need to change. Okay, so yeah, when we do that, it looks cool now. Okay, so let's go back and let's copy this submain title and let's write our submain title here. And okay, so my battery power is low, so I'm going to charge my laptop. So now what I'm going to do is let's decrease this font size, which is 13 pixel, or let's increase this title font size, which is 16 pixel. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, so 16 pixel will be enough. So now let's go now btn, which means a btn to watch. So let's write a btn watch, and here what I'm going to do is let's write a margin top 10 pixel, or instead of this, what I'm going to do is let's go back in our main container and let's see the container for this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a class name. So let's give it a class name. So our class name will be btn container. Let's copy this, and first let's write a btn container, and I'm going to copy this. I'm I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this, and let's paste it here. Let's save this and let's remove this. Let's save this, and I'm going to copy this and start this. After this btn to watch, let's save this, and now what I'm going to do is let's write margin top, which is 2. Okay, let's make it a 0. Okay. So now let's remove this btn. So instead of removing this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize our btn watch. So let's find our btn watch, and here what I'm going to do is let's copy this. Now I'm going to decrease this into 10. Let's make it 10, and our font size will be, where's our font size? Let's find our font size. So I'm going to remove this, and also I'm going to decrease this margin top. Instead of 10, I'm going to write a 6, and this is also a 6. Border radius 10 would be enough. And now uh, let's remove this, and let's write a font size, which is 11 pixel, and let's remove this font family. Okay, so let's remove this again. Let's write a margin top 10. Okay, so let's go back in our, okay, so now let's find our plus class name plus. So I'm going to copy this and let's paste it here. let's remove these positions, and I'm going to decrease this font size, and let's remove this background color. Let's remove, sorry for that, let's remove this background color, and our margin left, which is 5, and padding left, which is also 5, our margin right 5. Okay, so 5 is not suitable, so let's make it a 9 and 9. Let's save this. Yeah, so maybe that's good. Yeah, so margin padding button is good, so I'm going to remove this. Yeah, so let's remove this too. So yeah, let's remove this border radius from our BTN watch, and also what else we didn't use here. Okay, so that's it. So now instead of margin top pen, I'm going to write 30, or let's make it a 40. Yeah, and then let's go in our title, and here our margin top will be 140, or let's make it one, sorry for that, 120, 120. And let's go back in our BTN container, and let's make it a 0, and maybe everything is good here, or maybe let's write a margin minus 10, 20, I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, that's cool. So if I decrease this, yes, it's look pretty cool. When I decrease this, yeah, so let's go now cover image. So let's go now cover image, and instead of margin left 40, I'm going to write a 10 or 20. Yeah, and also I'm going to remove this border radius. Let's remove this. Yeah, okay, so let's, when we reach this 350, what I need to do is let's copy this, instead of copy this, let's write again media screen, so for that, and let's write a max width. So our max width will be 150 pixel. So in our item container, let's write a margin left 10 pixel. Okay, so I got an error because of this. So let's write a 355. Okay, so now let's change this, and still we need to decrease, increase this. Let's make it 40. Yeah, so maybe 40 would be enough. Yeah, if I increase this, everything is good. If I decrease this, everything is okay. So we also need to shift this continue watching. Okay, so we also need to shift this continue watching. Okay, so let's go in our main container again, and let's copy this sub main title. Let's write a margin left. So for that, let's write a margin left, which is 10 pixel. Okay, so maybe I got a problem again. Yeah, so let's decrease this. Yeah, so now let's make it a 0, or maybe we can also write a 10 pixel, or let's write a 16. Yeah, so 16 pixel would be enough. Yeah, so let's go now sub main title. Sub main title, let's copy the sub main title, and our bottom will be 10, and our top will be 10. Yeah, 11. Okay, so when we reach this 355, we also need to decrease this text. So let's write our font size, which is 11 pixel, or maybe 12 pixel, and let's write our margin left, which is 10 pixel, or let's write a minus 20 pixel, or maybe minus 30 pixel. Yeah, so here let's write a subtitle, and our subtitle width will font size will be 10 pixel, and let's write a margin left would be minus 40 or 45 pixel, and then we also need to decrease this uh, watch later for margin left. Okay, so let's go in our item container. So let's copy this btn container, and let's write a margin left, which is minus 30 pixel. Yeah, and also we need to write a cover image here, so let's write a cover image. So our width will be, I don't know, let's write a 30 pc, or our continue watching is overlaps. So continue watching is overlaps. For that, what we need to do is let's go in our sub main title. So maybe this is our sub main title, and let's write our margin top, which is 10, 20. Okay, so margin bottom, which is 0. Let's write our margin left, which is 20 or 25. Yeah, okay, so let's see with the Samsung Galaxy, and everything looks good. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, you can subscribe this channel.